okay. I just got back from driving this thing around and I'm still feeling some kind of slight imbalance in the engine, so I'm gonna want to take a look at that. Idle is kind of rough. I'm wondering if maybe I'm misfiring somewhere. I think I want to see if I'm throwing a spark on all 4 cylinders. So I'm gonna have to take off all the spark plugs, 2 here, 2 there, and see if I'm sparking. If it's not that, I'm also wondering if the carburetors are set correctly. When I first did this, I had no idea what I was doing. To be honest, I still don't, but here we are. All right, ignition is on. I have the remote starter here and spark plug 2 removed from cylinder 2. Let's check to see if there's a spark. Oh. Yep, there's a spark. So this is good, and I've also gapped it. I think it should be anywhere from 25 thousandths to 28 thousandths. This feeler gauge that I have here only goes up to 25. I think I should be okay. So I'm just gonna do this same procedure for all 4 spark plugs. Make sure there's spark, and if there is, then I don't think I would have a misfire. Really, I think it's just the adjustment of the carburetors. So let's work our way towards that. I ended up pulling off the carburetor. It just made it a whole lot easier for me to pull off the spark plugs. There's cylinder 1 spark plug. Gap is okay on it. I've yet to check to see if there's spark, but I'm sure it'll be okay. But while I have everything out, I might as well check compression as well. So I have my little handy dandy kit here. I don't need ignition for this one, so that's gonna stay off. Cylinder 2 is at 150. Cylinder 1 also at 150, and confirmed it has spark on the spark plug and is gapped properly. So putting this one back in there, then moving on over to cylinder 3 and 4. Cylinder 3 is right above 150, spark plug is gapped and it is sparking. Here's the last one, cylinder 4. Actually, I had to kill it, but it started. This is 175, so this has, cylinder 4 has the highest compression. Everything else is 150. I'm not really too worried about it, but I didn't even get a chance to see if it sparked up here because it started. So I'm just gonna double check to see if this sparked. Should be okay. Then I'm gonna just toss it back in. All right, spark plugs are all back in. Cables are all back in as well. Now I just have to put the last carburetor back in, but before I did, I just wanted to point out areas on the carburetor that need to be adjusted. Knob right here, I think it's like the for the amount of air that you want to go into the carburetor or into the cylinder, and this one here is your idle screw, so that determines how much fuel you're putting in there. So there's these 2 adjustment screws, and then there's going to be another 2 adjustment screws on that one. Unfortunately spilled some gas right here and it completely stripped all the paint. Kind of looks ugly, but it is what it is. While I was working on that, I got a notification that Amazon came and dropped off some stuff. So let's check out what I got. Oh yeah, this one, let me open it real quick. This is pretty cool. I had this one here. I want to put a USB port in here so I can charge my phone and other accessories. This one's okay, but I also wanted to get one that shows the voltmeter of the battery. And now I'm realizing, I think this may have had that feature as well. This one does have that feature of the voltmeter thing right here, and it just fell right here. But this one is pretty cool. It's all metal, and it has the readout there for the voltage of the battery, and it's got a power on and off, and it comes in a pack of 2. Wireless car power switch. So this will splice into the battery, the negative terminal, and then it comes with these 2 remotes here. and when I hit the remote, it should disconnect the battery, killing all power to the car. And the last thing I got, I was pretty excited about this one. I think people use this for like lawnmowers or ATVs or go-karts or whatever. Whoa! But basically, this is a meter and it shows temperature here. Shoot, I'm like dropping it everywhere. But basically 2 wires come out of it. This one here I can bolt up to anything and it gives me the temperature readout. And this yellow one here, I just loop around cylinder 1. And there's a setting here to change it between 4, 6, and 8 cylinder. It should tell me the RPM here digitally. So pretty excited about using this. I'll have to install this another time. Okay, I got both carburetors put back in. I'm gonna try to start it, but before I do that, I'm pretty sure I kind of lost a bit of fuel in the carburetors because I just spilled the whole bucket right there. So before turning on the ignition, I'm just gonna start this just to get some fuel pressure. And then after a little bit, then I'll turn on the ignition and start it up. That should be enough. Now let me start the ignition. I just shut it off because I completely forgot to put the linkage back together. So gonna do that real quick, then do it all over again. Okay, take 2. I got the linkage all situated. I have the springs back on the carburetors. Ignition is on. Ready, set, go. I forgot to put the negative terminal to the distributor back on, and we should be good now. It actually runs a whole lot smoother. I wonder if the spark plug cables just weren't seated properly, because so far I haven't done anything to the carburetors and it's kind of already running better. But yeah, so far I have the valve adjustments taken care of. I checked compression, they all look good. I have spark, they all look good. Carburetors, I'm still kind of iffy about it. Maybe I'll try this, I don't know, maybe I won't, we'll see. And the other thing I do want to do is set the timing. I don't know if I'll do that this time around. We'll see. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean up the oil bath air cleaner, toss it back in there, and we should be good. I think we're pretty much good now. I ended up getting a brand new one of these, whatever they're called, and that goes here. And this was like $1.25 or something. Not too expensive, and it kind of matches my fuel pump. Oh, also, I got a brand new gas cap. This was the original one, or at least the one that came with the car. And I think on my last video, I was talking about how this used to have a seal, but it doesn't work anymore. So I got this new one, and it does have a cork seal on there, and you really do have to press it in. And it actually forms a pretty good seal, just like that. I'm hoping that will finalize my car smelling like gas. I think there is still that breather that pretty much just goes up this tube right there that you can hardly see along the side, and then it just drops down there, and I think it's something to do with like the gas tank pressure or something, and it's supposed to just go down there. So I don't know if there's any way for me to really seal that up, but this should be a pretty good upgrade. With the engine pretty much buttoned up after I put this back on, I think I'm just going to end this one here. So in terms of the ignition timing, I will do that another video. Alright guys, thanks a lot.